front and no further. So this is why she wants to count the bend and look to the outside. And then she goes like, I'm happy with everything anyway, so that makes sense. Yeah.
What's the bridle?
Yeah, wag the tail and everything. So you want to bring the neck in, but also we're into the hip fold. We're going to make this look twist.
But it's not Orpheus super.
You feel that she chews? So this, of course, partial, but it's also this feels the shoulder blade. So the shoulder blade right here needs to turn a bit more this way, so it fits better here. Does that make sense? There we go. Notice that now she's letting you take the outer shoulder further across because you turn, yes. Notice that now that the travers is like, she starts thinking about travers reaction. She's still not quite bent the way we want her to be, but she starts becoming more movable. So that's the start. So, now you would probably like to, I think you might want to do a couple of small figures of 8. Change the figures is the really key thing. So, yeah, and then feel her chest as you change the bend, and as you turn around. So when I say chest, I mean her sternum. So in your groin, lift her, yes, very good. So now, think of your own sternum. Your sternum needs to go up to your face. Yep, there, good. You hear that little snort you did there? That makes a difference, because your whole pelvis on the front is going to be lighter. So it's much more obvious for you to find the timing of your seat as you lift your sternum up to your face. You know, if you say to people lift your chest, they tend to poke their chest out front. That's not the same as lifting your sternum up to your chest. Does that make sense? Okay. I'll make the weight a bit more precise. You know what you want? What? Deviate. What? And then let the outer shoulder reaches around. Yep, there. Now remember that we were talking about this inside hip fold. What about the inside loin? So the back of the saddle comes upwards. That's it. There we go. You feel? So she needs to come up to you with her inside back. Make sense? Now all these things are like boom. Boom. You notice that she's also slightly faster there, and then she starts finding a head position. Now she's still wanting to counter bend. So it's, can I just go over here a little bit together? Yeah, so we'll just go a little bit like, of course I could just do. That's the inside line. Roll down. Yeah? So we're standing out, and she immediately goes, give me that back. She's, oh, the same, yeah, and I didn't do much. Yeah? Now the other thing you can do is use your outside leg back, and then just twist her whole body. Yes, you know that all of a sudden she accepted inside leg. Yes. Yeah, does that make sense? So you add a modicum of trave to the bending of this horse. I think you'll find it very difficult to get her head and neck position where you want it to be if you only work on the head and neck position. Yeah, in this particular case. Oh, there's another little snort. Use her outside leg. Yeah, so your outside leg coming back from the hip as a whole kind of creates the bend behind you. Then you match it with shoulders if she matches it with her neck. Remember your sternum coming upwards, there. Yes, there's a bit into it. Yeah, bring the base of the neck further in. Yeah. And then use your chest to turn a bit further. So you can do this thing of turning yourself like that. Yes, there you go. And she starts thinking about the bend. There. You feel that? There's a spine all the way to the back of your head.
Well, I started to feel like she actually lifts to the inside.
Exactly. Yeah. Right, so if you were to try and do this, well, you would think, wow, you might not get it. And I think she will away. Yes, notice how much you can, yes. That's lovely. Yeah, that technically your inside leg could be a bit longer. Now yes, it was pretty good though, because the thing is that what happened is that this seat bone shifted a bit across on the saddle. Yeah, and if you make it go forward instead, your leg wouldn't be so short. Yeah, you know, your story still didn't fit. Yes. Okay. Start playing around with shoulder in and tackle. Now, how big this is, I don't really care right at the moment. I want you to feel your way into the horse you don't know. Does that make sense? Yes. There's at the top. Almost. The thing is, she does look the outer shoulder just a little bit lagging behind. Make sure the outer leg comes back and the inside hip comes forward. You move your belly button to the inside. I spoke very fast and there. But you want to do more of this. Yes, you hear? Good, good, keep going. Yes, yes, that's good, that's good. Nice about these horses that is, I don't see that very often, but that they are so explicit about what they do and do not like. When they go like, this is too much on the road. I mean, you didn't do much, but she goes, fine. Yes. Yeah, you could argue that they're a little bit opinionated in that sense, but they're very clear also to say what they do. When they make a little good thing, that do this little more reaction. So just, you have the bad, you have the good. Try to string the good together. Does that make sense? Yeah, and just let them have an opinion. Okay, you want to change the rein as much as you can. I talk so much that I don't even get a chance to tell you to change the rein. Exactly. Well, actually. This with your stomach a little bit more. And you think we have like a double bracket. If you want the inside of buttons to go a bit higher than the outside. There we go. You feel? So that it was easier to right now. She went a bit too low, but the neck to bit further in. Definitely didn't pull well there, so that's a big deal. There we go. Yep. She looks a little bit down here at the moment. So we want to curl her pelvis further under her to get her to come up in the sternum. You could argue that you would want to carry this horse's head just gently upwards before you start, because she's a little downhill. However, because she's quite sensitive with her mouth, I don't want to go experiment with that and tell her, you need to put my head here. Well, I'm trying to...
She doesn't know me either.
Exactly. So, sometimes you need to be a bit careful with the lady. If that makes sense. I mean, there is an argument to do that. If you know what you're doing, it probably will work, but I think with this horse we'll probably have a little bit more from her if we try to do it from behind. So try to do that shoulder in again. The outside shoulder comes across, your inside hip will twist, your outside leg comes back from the hip, your inside big stomach muscle lifts up, and you feel the back of your seat bone, and go to her ears. Use your right shoulder blade to help your seat bone. One go right on the inside, use your thigh as well. There. Now we get from it. No. Because you made enough space in the wheel to accommodate that speed. She's still a bit counterbent. You want the tail, outside leg back. You can wiggle your outside ankle a little bit to just go, hey, just bend. There. You feel? Feel that softened her head position? It's all very subtle, but I don't know her either, so I'm going to be careful. Does that make sense? Okay. Change the rein to the other side. I think one bend was a bit better than the other, and I always forget which one it is. If there's some more snorting going on, that's a good thing. Maybe she hears a rapper and goes, there must be cookies. Belly button turn, so very proud in your left chest, outside leg back. Make sure when you bring the leg back, you don't move it back from the knee, but your entire... One thing that I might... I would imagine so. So if I put my legs back, I literally do this twist, and my leg is back. So this is known in the Italian as a volta stabile. Make sense? Are you familiar with Italian swordsmanship or something? Yeah? Got it? Yeah, the horse tooth. Tooth. Twist. And one she knows the volta stabilo, so that there's later in the labor stuff becomes these gyrations and things like that. But that twist in your hip joint allows you to put your leg back as a whole. So you twist your hip joint like that, and then your leg becomes nice and long. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's more, I mean, I suggest inactivity, and it's actually reactive. So what you might want to try and do is, this is the inside, push your heel into my hand, really push, yeah, and then really twist it around for like that, push. Yeah, you never need it this hard, but you feel this muscle there. That muscle you need. Yeah, the going straight again muscle. That is a muscle you want to use to direct the horse. And most people don't. Yes. I always get told, like on the second day of the clinic, that people go like, I'm thinking,
Yeah,
yeah, well, however, do you jump a lot, like cautious and stuff like that? Yeah, so when you're standing in the stirrups, and you're doing this jump course, and you're coming over this jump, and you want to change the bend, and you want to go over a jump that's 90 degrees from here, and you need to gather the horse up, and make sure the angle of the shoulders are right to get over that jump. So you're landing here, and you're already looking there, and you need to get this thing in your hips, that as the horse goes right down. Well, you need to kind of hold yourself here. Same muscle. It's the same. It's just you're standing. You know, and you can use all these seat aids whilst movement. I'm personally very rubbish at it, but it can be done. Does that make sense? Yeah, there, yes. So this feeling of looking over the next jump as you're landing, yes. You feel like the whole horse comes uphill because you're thinking about getting your front legs over the next jump and gathering the hind legs in the moment that you have an opportunity. So it's like, no, 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 now. No, 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 now. But there's a specific moment that you can gather the haunches just before the jump, and the horse does it itself. Well, the horse has an incentive to do so. However, there's a specific moment where the horse coils itself with the haunches under the horse, and it's about now, yes, now, that's it. You feel? So once you have one of these patterns that you're used to, you have access to engage the heart, you start imagining that allowing them to want to look. Exactly. You see that you can take one feeling and apply it to a different situation, get a good feeling there, apply it to the next one. So if you try something really fancy that you find really hard, try it, fail. Out there, and then you need to get to the... You feel? Good. Good. Now notice that your outside hip is slightly further forward than your inside hip. So when we do this volta stabile, we want our inside hip to be slightly further forward. This is one of the things you see all the jumpers do, is when they're in 2-point, they're like this. And making another jump. So the slightly more military version, where you're more above the horse straight up, and less leaning over. Yeah, and you just kind of go, hop, ahead of the jump in the actual jump, sure, but in between, you're more up. But when you sit down, then you make yourself heavy on the back of the horse because the horse is doing a lot. Does that make sense? Again, I'm jumping as a point, but I don't. There, yes, you feel? You feel the difference? Cool. Exactly. But in the very beginning, she felt very stuck. Now what I could have said is, she needs to be more forward. Well, I suppose that was true. Well, yeah, I suppose you could have tried. No, I don't think I would have done that with an opinionated mare. At least I don't dare. Does that make sense? But I mean, the assessment is true. We wanted more forward, but you only really what we now did is we attained a little forward from just allowing Brechlissigkeit, the throughness, and as a little bit of losgelassenheit, a little bit of relaxation. But even the relaxation came from allowing things through. So we want a position where her body lets her through, inside the horse, and I want feet to let her. Does that make sense? There's always a chocolate side, as we say in German. Chocoladeseite. There's always a chocolate side. It is ahead of yourself, and it's almost like jumping over a jump. If you have a very low jump that is in a very complex combination, sometimes you don't really have the chance to sit over her ears. And you kind of sort of stand up straight and get it done anyway. You a little bit, what's that? Long story. Let's go to position. I would like a little bit of shoulder four, but let's not bend. You see, the moment I say shoulder four, you get a bit of counter bend here somehow. So I think what you need to do to get the shoulder four is create more twist in this hip. And then feel this rib cage coming up on this side. You feel this here? There we go. So I'm bending her around the inside thigh because she's so sensitive and I'm rather careful with her. Keep it that way. There you go. So, right now. And that means that I think you're too heavy on that seat bone. So this stays back. Yeah, and then this is really important. This turns, and this comes back. Now, and what's really important is this muscle right in your ribs there. There. You feel? And you feel that you're starting, yes, you're starting to use your... Yes, exactly. Now feel your right pelvic floor. There we go. Yes, there. You feel that? Yeah, and that's what she wants to move over the back. So your pelvic floor makes power. Exactly. That becomes very important for piaffe prevention, for passage and things like that. But you want that piriformis muscle to pulse in time with the horse's back. It's kind of like the horse. Yep, there you feel that? Good? Yeah, well, you were looking for that yourself. Does that make sense? Now one of the things is you could have just stood up. And then it would have not looked as bad. No, for instance, rising trot. However, there would have been this slight offset, because your musculature is slightly offset. There you go, yeah, flow, there. You know that you can just invite it into your pelvic floor inside. And make more trot. Keep the trot going by allowing it upwards. Up. You know that there's rhythm for it? So what's happening behind you under the saddle? Better, 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 better. You feel? So why was that rhythm fault there? And I think you're doing something with your bump like this, sideways. You want slightly more twist like this. Make it easier for her lower back to make. Now you might need to use your left shoulder to make the left hip aid to want it. Yes. And especially if you do that, you can do it this way. Try to do it this way. So roll your collarbone upwards on the inside. That's it, yeah, exactly. Now try to trot again. Invite your seatbone, tiny bit about the leg. Up, there she goes. Up, yeah. That will happen. There we go. Yeah, and use your collarbone, collarbone, bigger motion in the top of the motion. Just a bit forward. Good down, saddle, foot, side hind leg steps. And more importantly, on the outside front leg steps. So in the sitting trot, you want to make the freedom that you would have gotten from a rising trot anyway. But you notice that you're kind of counter-bending in your own seat. That's why I wanted to circle that your belly button twist and your hip joint was easier for you to travel. Yes, better. You feel? And you notice that her reaction is immediate. There she goes like, oh, that's better. Good. Out to level. Power. Power. Swing. Power. Good. And then keep changing direction. Well, you need to be quite immediate. Treat the change of direction like a flying lead changing even though we're in trots. Up, yeah, there we go. But if she slows down, use the outside calf to the inside jahe, and then up, yes. There you go. There we go. Oh, there we go. Notice that the effect you were looking for with your inside calf was easier to obtain with your inside thigh. Because you got used to the inside, well, usually, these side very short strokes. It doesn't feel so to do that. Just kind of part of, yes. So the reason your legs should be quote-unquote long is because you want your hips to be able to swing through your hip flexors to the front. Use your shoulder blades to make sure you can do that. If you want more power, you can also get, you want to pinch your shoulder as a pop. Because it's easy to speed her up. It doesn't mean never lose your leg. You can use your leg, but if you just use your leg, she's not necessarily going to do the thing you want her to do. Now get that outside shoulder coming across. Remember the base of the neck put it in. There. There we go. There we go. Okay, now get the hold. Now with this horse, it's very obvious that you get really rubbish rhythm, and then all of a sudden fire. And then really rubbish, and then all of a sudden fire. Yeah, but she allows herself very bad rhythms in between. Now, if we would just simply send her more forward, I mean, I could take a lunge rope and make her look more trot-like. If you would look closer, you would see all the same mistakes. But they would be harder to see. Are they then not there? They would still be there. The thing is that I'd much rather let her show what's right and what is wrong, for you to notice, okay, 3-step elbow, and then we can repeat those 3 steps, and then add a bit of energy to that. So I'd much rather her to tell you it's not where you need to be. Does that make sense? It's nice that we can agree to that over here today, because it's so easy as an instructor to feel like I need to make every step look by the book. And then the main way to hide the mistakes is to chase the horse forward. But all it does is hide the inherent problems. Yeah, we want to ride the horse forwards. Hey, remember this phrase, straighten your horse, and then ride it forwards. So if you have an unstraightened horse, then we're not really in a position to ride it forwards yet. I mean, we might chase it, but understand what it said. Yeah, exactly. The forward is not just hastily through the arena. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for this flow. Does that make sense? So one of the things you see now is that she has the elbow thing going on. So I'm just going to let you feel this until your shoulder grab the rhythm, and then move it, yes, move from side to side. Notice how she turned there? And I didn't need force. And then she immediately does this chewing thing, and it's a bit on the low side. There we go. One side, other side. Good. One side. Good. 16-16. Very nice. Yes, there we go. This is the spell, yeah, there we go. Now we're going to get to that one. Now notice that the rib cage can rotate down, yeah? But that's very nice, so they're just relaxing. And then that's cool. Now, as we're going to that side, take this seat bone up into your body, and we reverse from the other side. So we go this side first, yeah, up, there, yes, and then the other side, lifting, that's it, there we go. You feel? And then up, and then lift on the right, and then up, there we go. Exactly. As you want this twist up your body, it's kind of like that. Yeah, and then we add a bit of, oh yeah. Tries to stretch through here. Yeah? Now, this stretch, there we go. Now we use a little bit of here as well. keep her along. So we want this to follow. There we go. Now she has this little bump here. And there's probably something that will make her go. Again, things where you go. Yes. So now we need to add to this here. There we go. So all that goes back. Yeah, and you take the saddle up and over there. Okay, and you kind of feel that you're peeling it open like a trumpet. Now that might sound really, oh, it's a rigid tree. Or shouldn't be that rigid. You can actually move it really far. So you can just kind of peel it open when you're into the hip. Whenever the inside comes like that, you have a lot of a higher hip position that she can carry herself into, as opposed to me pulling her up into. So you want to invite her into the stomach and into the hip fold. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Now you need your shoulders to do this, because lifting into the hip fold, I say hip fold, but that's this soft body in front of here. Like the pull. Exactly, because are you familiar with the musculature and stuff like that? You know what a psoas is? Yes. If you pull your psoas out south, you just do this. Hey, bring your knees up. But I don't want to pull the knees up, but I do want to do this lift. So if I have my arms ready, I have my lats ready, yeah, I have this one here ready, which is differently called in horses as in people, and then I use a little bit of serratus, and I have all of this, and then I use my right piriformis, and then I use my psoas. And then that didn't collapse my hip. If anything, I actually extended it a little. Yeah, exactly. And that makes the earth come up with me. No, you don't do that. Pulse. Pulse. Sense? Try that. Yes. See why we all yap on about the wrong leg. Because it's so easy to pull your knee up. Does that make sense? So try to get a trot and try to do this during the trot. It's going to be a bit trickier and it's going to be much more revealing when it's right and when it's wrong. Up. That's better. Notice it dips down on that side, but it's already more diagonal. That makes upwards, 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 upwards with your hip fold, hip fold. So your psoas lifts the right side of the horse, the right side of the horse. Move your right shoulder to, yes. Did you feel that go better? Yeah, there we go.
I feel when I get it right because she moves differently.
Yeah, and this horse will show you every little bit. You feel? Yeah. It's important that we make a distinction of when is it the horse's fault, when is it the rider's fault. And, you know, fault is a bit silly because it's always our fault. It's a bit like doing a dance class. The instructor always tells the... And upwards, upwards, upwards. Bring the outside shoulder across. Also turn your hip fold to the inside. There we go. You feel that she softened to the inside mouth a little bit? We will know where that came from. From the outside hind leg, power from your outside leg, flip the right hip, the right hip. Belly button turn. Now we need a bit more bend. She's counterbending a bit too much. Let's change the line. So it would be so much easier if she would you to put her head in the right place. But you want to put her head in the right place from her tail. Back. So the tail now, because we're on the left bend, then if from behind you want to tail twist with the like that. Good. That power, power. Yeah. And up your left stomach. Now your tailbone turn like this as well.
Actually 9.
Up. So she had one really free step and immediately fell on her forearm. And then come high on the inside. There we go, yes. There. What she does there? So she's opening quite a bit, but she's kind of trying to sort out her high road. Let's just stop. she was so sensitive in her mouth, I didn't want to go too much. If she went a little bit more, that would be easier. Now, then there's a muscle that goes from here all the way to there. So the wiggle is almost this long. It is the longest muscle as the latex stacked on top of one another. Yeah. But the one that is kind of interest in this case, the saddle might be slightly too far forward on that. You feel this? That the shoulder blade is just, yeah, and I think that's why she's so sensitive to what you're doing with the front of the saddle. So if you do basic this, she's fine. Does that make sense? Now the thing is that the saddle, you would have like the saddle a little bit of this, and then you might check if it's sitting the chamber and the gullet. Now where the chamber stops and the gullet starts, that's actually the bit where you're most likely to be sitting. Yeah, and that's the bit where nobody ever notices. So, awkward.
10 minutes.
So keep this to the inside. Does that make sense? Now, all the while, you want the twist of the toe. So there's the glutes here, and then, yeah, that's good girl. You feel that? That's the left bend. Yes. Good. Now do the same thing. Oh, good girl. So we're just going to take a little bit in, yeah. Lift this up, through this part here, and then run it. There we go. You feel that? If you can do a bit more, there you go. You feel that? So try to use that mainly to bundle, to try and get this sorted out. That takes a bit of doing, but I think you get it. Okay, big vacant trot. And get that croup sorted out in the timing. Yep. So your outside leg, mostly push on the croup, and your inside going in right that lift that you felt when I did it. Yeah. Outside leg to inside seat there. Yes, yes, yes. Her outside jaw can lead a bit more. Good thoughts. Keep the outside shoulder in. In your inside seat bone, use your outside butt. Yes. There. Near the left, outside leg back. Turn your hip joints for your psoas. And get a little bit towards the inside up. Weighting your little toe on the inside. Well, yes. Yes, there. Outside shoulder coming across. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
How easy it is.
Because I couldn't pulling my knee up.
Yeah, but the thing is that the reason you start pulling your knee up is because you're actually looking for a good thing, or a good thing in isolation, as opposed to your whole body good thing. And that's what psoas. It has function, like every. Also, you notice that when you have more weight in the front of the saddle, she immediately gives you counterbands and issues in the front legs. And the moment you lift the front of the saddle up, they open. Yeah. Make sense? I think you might have saddled the saddle a tiny bit too far forward. Yeah. Yes. Do you notice that? If you throw it back through, especially the inside one, that's it. Yes, you notice that the thing, then you get to, try to use her pelvic floor, her seat bones together. You notice that you're getting much more leg reaction. Yeah, and you don't the seat bones together, you do your seat bones together, which also coincidentally lightened the front of your pelvis, which lightened the front of the saddle, which also made you more free-ish. See the shoulder blades? You feel it? And then all of a sudden you got to actually ask a bit of an instant rain aid without her disagreeing. It wasn't a big rain aid, which is just as well. Well, you went, okay, oh. Does that make sense? Good. This is what I'm teaching. That was scratching my head. Is that synchronized motion? Nose there again, out to the right through the seat bones. Yes, there. There you got it back. And then get the rhythm. Okay. And then come up to a halt. I hope you don't mind that we didn't count you yet, but I'm going to give you some things. Well, also, you know, a rider should know how to ride all 5 types of saddles. A nobleman should know how to ride all 5 types of saddles and has a different seat in each of them, appropriately. And then you need to understand how they're all different, even though you have a preference which saddle you buy for your own horse and they'll know what you ride most. But you should understand the other ones to understand the one you like best. So now, of course, we make you ride a bit more nostalgia, but this, you should try and find out what this tells you about riding a jump saddle. Why a jump saddle is the way a jump saddle is. How I use that when I jump. How I adjust it when I'm currently not jumping in my jump saddle. Similarly, we can jump in the dress up, but you need to adjust for the needs of the jump and the horse in the jump. And you need to understand what the strengths and weaknesses are and then apply yourself in the saddle. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to also talk to you about this twist thing can be extremely useful at 2 points. And you get to the point, you know, if you're doing mounted archery, for instance, well then you should do lots of this. Especially, what a lot of people do is they do this, and they should be doing this. And then you can use a far heavier bow with no effort whatsoever. I just happen to have a mounted archer at my home at the moment where we're talking about Parthian shot. Now people just run in one straight, flying down that way, jumped in, another arrow, hey, and another shot, yay, Parthian shot. That's not the Parthian shot. But the other thing is you ride with a whole unit at the enemy, let's say the enemy's over there, and you turn them all around and then you shoot. But turning your horse around a bit is kind of important. Have you ever tried that? So you have your arrow ready, so you want to shoot ahead at a gallop, then slow the horse down exactly at the distance between the range of the enemy's arrows back. Turn the horse around in a small space so you don't hit the horse's heads together as you turn around. So you're doing a half pirouette, and then as you gallop out of the half pirouette, we shoot. That's also known as bloody hard. And so it's stuff like that. In mounted archery, for instance, keep things very simple, which is fine. It's fine. But the real arts that we used to use are really amazing stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like the number stuff, with the lances, with the double lance stuff. General Sean was doing this stuff for this workshop, and it's really interesting if you read exactly what they're doing. And they're doing Gorocha moves with two-handed stuff and turning the horse underneath this, stuff like that. And then bows and then 1,000. Yeah. Now this is why you might want to consider looking at your stirrup attachment in the saddle you do mounted archery. As a stirrup forward, your life is really hard. You should be able to just kind of sit there and just go, and just stand straight up with no effort whatsoever.
Yeah, the other horses.
But that means your stirrup attachments are here, not here. And that means that you're not in a capilla seat, you're in a Cossack seat. Does that make sense? And you can just stand there all day. They don't do this for nothing. This is important to the Cossacks. This is a really big deal to the Cossacks. So you do your thing and then you do this every time. And that's the big, it's important. Does that make sense? So I'm just trying to understand that what we discussed just now doesn't just apply to this situation, but it applies to whatever you do at home.
So I come back and choose a page.
It's like stirrup treads. I can do stirrup treads like this, or I can do stirrup treads like this. We do downhill skiing. And you do skating. Do you know this sort of wrist thing? Yeah. We can do this with stirrups. Alright, put on my little toe, big toe, or big toe, little toe.
Emily and I played around with that during lunch last night. And she was having me do some stuff.
Yeah, so hop, 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 and all those things that I don't know how to do. Make sense? I think I only do time. I think we also time. I think.
Yep.
She said 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
You want to sit down in between?
Oh, then I need to get back up.
Do you want to take my saddle stool?
Oh, that's
That's what I use, yeah.
No, I'll just take a swig of water or something. Oh, look,
We have a bunch of little water bottles.
of everything. How healthy.